Our STEM to career connection that we're going to be looking at this time is last time we looked at a meteorologist, now we're going to look at a hydrologist. What is their career called?
Hydrologist.
Fabulous. So a hydrologist is going to be another one of those careers. It's going to use a good amount of science to back it, science to go with it. A hydrologist is a special type of scientist that studies the Earth's water cycle from when the water lands on Earth until it goes back into the atmosphere. So they're really studying everything that has to do with water and the water cycle when it's on Earth all the way up till it's going back up into the clouds again. Are they watching what happens once it hits the clouds?
No.
Not necessarily. That's where that meteorologist is going to take over studying those weather patterns and what's happening. But they're going to study that water when it's on Earth and as it's going through that phase of the water cycle. In your reading, you can read a little bit more about a hydrologist as well. I am going to read it to you one more time. And then on the next page, you're going to answer some questions that go directly with our reading. So on page 108, you have 2 questions. You guys can take a look at them for a second. Griffin. Page 108, you have a few questions. Ryder, sit up. Your 2 questions you're going to answer is, which science and engineering practice does the hydrologist do? So when we talk about that science and engineering practice, we'll hear about it a little bit in the thing, but in our reading. But which phase are they going? Are they asking questions? Are they looking at data? Are they analyzing data? Kind of where do they fall in what they're doing? And then how do hydrologists work with others to solve problems? I'm going to go ahead and read, and your job is to answer those 2 questions. But can you go back and reread to answer them? Definitely. Hydrologist. I am a special type of scientist called a hydrologist. A meteorologist studies water in the atmosphere. I study Earth's water cycle when it lands on Earth until it goes back into the atmosphere. I spend most of my days trying to solve water-related problems. I think about problems related to the amount of water in the area, especially if there's too much. I work with engineers to analyze the situation and create solutions. So that goes with that first question, right? They're analyzing the situation and they're creating solutions. Often we create dams or reservoirs to control or prevent flooding issues. When a meteorologist is forecasting a lot of rain, I interpret and analyze the data to see if I need to solve any problems because of it. So going back to those 2 questions, which practices does a hydrologist do? So thinking about what we read in there, that analyzing, interpreting, solving problems, he does all of it, right? And then how do hydrologists work with others to solve problems? So what are they doing in order to help solve problems? Go ahead and get both those answers written today.